Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a treat or gift box that measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 by 1 1/2. Alright, and you can fit any small gift or treats in here. I didn't put anything in because they're kind of scarce right now. I'm sure after Halloween, which right now it's today for me, so I apologize if you hear any barking, ring doorbells. My husband's up there taking care of it, but I'm sure there's going to be some sounds. I wanted to remind you about my 4,000th subscriber giveaway. You can put a comment on this video saying what you like about this box. And there's also one from Friday, and I'm going to do one tomorrow. So you get 3 different chances to enter. Just subscribe and tell me what you like about this box, and then I will enter you. One of the prizes is a pencil case, Stampin' Up pencil case with Stampin' Up pencils, and the 3D Hive embossing folder. Now, if I get this wrong, I will definitely go back to my first video because I have a feeling I might have messed up these two. But the Bottled Happiness photopolymer stamp set along with the double-stitched ribbon, and that's Balmy Blue. And then another prize is the Caroling Mice host stamp set. So you can only get this if you spend $150 or more, or host a party with $150 or more. And the H clear block, which will go great with this lamppost here. Alrighty, so to win any of these, please subscribe and leave a comment telling me what you like about this box today. Alrighty, so what we need, of course, is the Sweet Gingerbread bundle, which you get 10% off if you buy the bundle together. And it's the Sweet Gingerbread photopolymer stamping set and the Gingerbread House dies. Alrighty. Okay, we need some Crumb Cake cardstock that is 10 by 6 1/4. We need some basic white for stamping. We need a piece of basic white that I cut using this die right here. It's a hill die. And what I did was I cut a piece that was at least 1 1/2 inch high, and then I laid the die down and I cut it, and then I cut it to 3 1/4 inch length. So the total is 3 1/4, and the highest part is 1 1/2. But as long as it's 3 1/4 wide, you can really go any height you want. It's not set in stone for that. Alrighty, and that's out of basic white. I use the Santa's Express DSP. You need 2 pieces that are 3 by 3, and then 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 3, but you want to do 2 that, let me see if I can find them here. Yeah, 2 that kind of go the same direction as the pieces for the front, and 2 that you can use on the sides that have the snow kind of going down. Alrighty, but if it doesn't matter to you, then just 4 that are 3 by 1 1/4. Alrighty. And then we need a whole bunch of different inks. I'll tell you right away. Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Real Red, Garden Green, and Daffodil Delight. You can use anything similar. It doesn't have to be this. And for the house, you can use your Stamparatus, which I did for this one, but I don't think it's necessary because it really came out great the first shot. Alrighty, so you don't have to use the Stamparatus for this if you don't want to. Alright, so let me get my Simply Scored. This is my host code. Please put it in for anything under $150, and I will put the orders together and get some Stampin' Rewards to share with everybody. I did send the Stampin' Rewards out last week for anybody who ordered in September, and I should be able to send out the rewards for October probably next week, because I think I have most of them. Okay? Alright, we're going to start on the 10-inch side, and we're going to score at 1 1/2 4 3/4, 6 1/4, and 9 1/2. And we're going to change it to the 6 1/4 inch side, and we're going to score at 1 1/2 and at 4 3/4. All right. Okay, now I'm going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Okay, so how I have it sitting here, there is a 1 1/2 inch strip on the bottom and the top, and the 1/2 inch skinny rectangle is on the right hand side. Right, and this is what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start on the left hand side. We're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge some out of each side of the square. I'm going to go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge up into that skinny rectangle a little bit. Okay, then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, then wedge up into that skinny rectangle again. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge each side of the square. All right. Now, with the what's left of the skinny rectangle on the right hand side, we're going to round the corners of the top, just the bigger pieces, the big rectangles. And that's what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring it and cutting it. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tear and tape on what's left of the skinny rectangle close to the score line. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to get the backing off. I'm going to flip the whole thing over, flip the side with the tape, and then the other side to meet it. Okay, so now this is our back. All right, so we're going to put the sides in, and I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the tabs. I'm going to put the back down. Yep, that's the back. And then I'm going to put more liquid glue on the back of the front flap. And then just bend this down. Okay, and then flip it over and make sure you push down on those tabs so we're sure that it's all nice and sealed up there. Okay. All right, now this is our back. All right, now we need our DSP, and we're going to put the two pieces that are 3 by 3 on the front and the back here, and then two of the pieces that are 3 by 1 1/4 on the front flap and the back flap, which reminds me, those pieces, the top, we want to round the corners so that it matches up with the actual flap. Okay, and the two that are left over we're going to put on the side, and I'm going to use liquid glue for all of them. All right, now we're just going to let this dry a little while. And we need our piece of basic white, and we're going to start with Crumb Cake, and we're going to do the house. Just make sure when you do this to leave room for the die to go. It's a little bit wider than the actual image, so let's make sure we don't put them too close. All right, I'll put my house down here. See, and that, even though it's a solid image, it really goes down very nicely. Okay, then we need Early Espresso, and we're going to do kind of this little scrolly work on the top there. Okay, and just leave enough room for this roof to go on top. But we need enough below it for the wreath. So you might want to cut out your roof first and put it down so that you can see. But I think that's plenty of room. Okay, and then I'm going to do the door, which I'm not going to put straight on here. I'm going to do the door separately and cut that out. Okay, that's it for Early Espresso. Then I'm going to use some real red, and I'm going to do the windows. Now you can cut these windows out separately also, but I'm going to try to get them right on the house. Great. All right, and that's it for real red. Now we're going to do garden green. We need one wreath. And 2 Christmas trees. And the dies are great. They give you 2 Christmas tree dies, so that's really good. All right, so we need 2 of the Christmas trees. I'm going to do them sideways. And then we need, oops, I forgot with the Early Espresso, we have to do the roof. Now these are just my colors that I'm doing this time, but in the catalog they use a lot of aquas and pinks, but I wanted to do kind of a traditional red and green kind of one. All right, and then last with Daffodil Delight, I'm going to use for the gumdrops. And there is a lighter and a darker, but with the Daffodil Delight, I'm just going to do one. And I use the one that has kind of the dots on it. Put one there and one there. Okay, and that's it for stamping. Now you could also put one of the sentiments. There's 3. Have a sweet Christmas, sending love, or from our home to yours. You could always tuck that in underneath the bow if you wanted to. But I didn't do that this time. Okay, if you want to see all of the stamped. All right, and I already have cut out everything so you don't have to wait. All right, so here's our 2 trees and our roof, the wreath, the door, and our 2 gumdrops. All right, and I'm going to get my silicone mat. All right, and I'm going to put the house on there first. First, I'm going to do the roof. Just going to lay it right on top. Then, oh, I didn't do my, shoot, Willie. All right, well, I can do it now because I didn't do it on this one that I already cut. I'm going to do my early espresso filigree, I guess. There we go. Not too hard to add after. All right, and then I'll do my wreath right underneath that. I'm going to cover up, I think, a few of these little dots, but that's all right. Okay, and then the door. And I'm going to put the 2 gumdrops right next to the door. Oops, little gumdrop bushes. And that's it for the gluing. Okay, now let that dry a second. And we're going to get our bit of snow that, again, I cut it to 3 1/4 by about 1 1/2 at its highest point. So I'm just going to glue that, and that covers the edges of the box too. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to get dimensionals to put the house on. And I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch underneath, well, maybe a little of a 1/4. I'm going to shoot for the middle sideways. Put that down. Okay, and then I'm going to put this tree low on the left, and then this tree a little bit higher on the right. Now, you would put whatever you want in. And I'm going to use a hole punch, and I'm going to put 2 in the middle on the front and the back. It doesn't have to be exact, so don't worry too much. Okay, these are 1/4 inch, but you could put the bigger ones too if you want to. And then I'm going to take this iridescent ribbon. Now, it does shed when you cut it, but not afterward, just a little bit on the edges after you cut it, but then it stays all together very nicely. All right, and I'm going to feed it through the front to the back, and then the back to the front. Okay, and just pull it snug. You don't have to really pull too tight. Okay, and I just kind of flipped up the bow. I really like that, and it really does it pretty easily. It stays there. All right, and for the final touches, I'm going to use some rhinestone basic jewels, and well, 1 rhinestone basic jewel and some red rhinestone basic jewels. The red rhinestone ones, I'm going to put 3 over the dots on the wreath right there. And then I didn't do it on this one, but I'm going to put a rhinestone basic jewel for the doorknob. You could put a red one too if you want to, but I figured I would put, maybe we'll try red. Let's see. That one's not sticking. You know why? Because I had to wipe off, so I'll wait on that. Let me do it to this one. You can see it. Do I want a red? I think I do want a red one. Red doorknob right there. Okay, that's it. If you would like to purchase anything from my shop, the link is below. There's also a link to my blog that has all the measurements. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you like about this box. and I will enter you into the 4,000th subscriber video, okay? And you have until next Wednesday, one per video, one comment per video. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.